The old miller had worked hard his entire life. He would go to his mill at the first light of dawn and work until nightfall, every day, every season, without stopping. He devoted his love to his mill, and the millstones ground the wheat into flour day after day. The wheat would come from the fields and become flour between the millstones. In each grain there was the miller's labor. But time, like the ever-turning millstones, wore down even the strongest. As the years passed, the miller's strength diminished. His hair turned white, and his hands began to tremble. The miller fell ill, his breath grew weak, and his hands lost their strength. He called his 3 sons to his side. He wanted to leave them one last testament.
My sons, the only things I can leave you are this mill, our faithful donkey, and the cat. These things have been a part of my life.
The eldest son, strong and proud, took the mill for himself. He wanted to operate the mill and carry on his father's legacy. The middle son, practical and strong, took the donkey to help him with his work. The donkey was a great help in the fields and for transportation. All that was left for the youngest son, kind but meek, was the cat. The cat became his only companion. He sat by the window with the cat curled up in his lap, despair in his heart. His future was uncertain. He didn't know what to do.
What good is a cat when all I have is sadness, he thought. He didn't know how he would spend the rest of his life.
The cat's ears twitched, as if it understood the young man's thoughts. It stretched and yawned lazily before fixing its emerald eyes on the young man. There was a wisdom in the cat's eyes.
"Don't lose hope," the cat said, in a reassuring voice to the young man. "I'm with you, and I have a plan," the cat said, looking into the young man's eyes. "But first, you must get me a pair of boots." "Boots made for adventure," said the cat, a glimmer of hope appearing on the young man's face.
Surprised by the talking cat, the young man felt a glimmer of hope spark within him. This was something he had never encountered in his life. The cat's talking seemed like a miracle to him. The young man had a feeling that the cat could help him. Could the cat really help him? He didn't know the answer to this question, but the determination in the cat's eyes gave him confidence. The cat's posture exuded an air of being in control. It seemed impossible, but there was a twinkle in the cat's eyes, a strangely reassuring air of confidence. This twinkle rekindled the hope within the young man. This light in the cat's eyes made him feel that things could change. He rummaged through his few belongings and found an old, worn but still sturdy pair of leather boots. These boots reminded him of the good old days. Maybe these boots could give him hope again. The cat accepted the boots with a graceful nod. This gesture showed how noble and elegant the cat was. This gesture warmed the young man's heart. It sat down and carefully put on the boots, its movements surprisingly dexterous for a cat. This skill of the cat amazed the young man. He had never thought a cat could be so capable. It stood tall and looked into the young man's eyes. This look gave the young man confidence. The determination in the cat's eyes made him feel that everything was possible.
"Now, listen carefully." These words completely drew the young man's attention to the cat. He was eagerly waiting to hear what the cat had to say. "We have a lot of work to do if we want to change your luck." These words further strengthened the hope within the young man. The cat's determination inspired him.
Fascinated by the cat's demeanor, the young man listened carefully to every word. What the cat said opened a new door of hope for him. The young man was ready to embark on a new journey under the cat's guidance. Now wearing boots, the cat no longer looked like an ordinary pet. This new look of the cat gave it a different air. This made the cat even more special in the young man's eyes. It had transformed into something different, something intelligent and cunning, a spark of possibility against despair. This state of the cat became a new beacon of hope for the young man. The cat's intelligence and cunning inspired him. The young man dared to hope, his heart feeling lighter than it had in days. This new hope gave him the courage to make a fresh start. The young man was ready to step into a new life, guided by the cat. The cat began to speak, pacing back and forth. He had a big plan in mind, and he was determined to carry it out.
"The king is a man of great wealth and power. His kingdom is vast, and his people are loyal to him. But more importantly, he has a daughter of unparalleled beauty and grace, a princess. The princess was considered the kingdom's most precious treasure. We will win her hand for you." This was the cat's promise to the young man.
The young man gasped in astonishment. He wondered how such a grand promise could be fulfilled.
But how? He couldn't help but ask this question. "I'm just a miller's son and she's a princess. This showed the young man's lack of confidence.
The cat chuckled with a low growl in its chest. This showed how cunning the cat's plan was.
Leave her to me. The cat's confidence was also giving courage to the young man. You, my friend, have the heart of a prince, and I, the wit of a king's advisor. These words were spoken to bring out the potential within the young man. Together, we will prove that true worth lies not in titles or riches, but in the strength of one's character. This showed the cat's belief in the young man.
With that, the cat, with a cunning glint in its emerald eyes, embarked on an elaborate plan. The plan was both clever and daring. He spoke of the royal hunts in the nearby forest, a cunning plan to impress the king. This plan was a perfect opportunity to get the king's attention. The young man finally managed to get the king's attention. The king now trusted him. He had finally succeeded. He married the king's daughter. In the end, thanks to the cat, he understood his own worth and lived happily ever after with the king's daughter. Alright, little ones, don't forget to like our story and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye and stay with love.